Hello, I'm Valentin Mandace from Historic Houses of Romania, Case de Epocă, and I would like to speak about the streamlining forms which you see on Bucharest buildings from the 1930s and 1940s especially. It's a bit of a debate about the term, how you categorize it as being an Art Deco element or a modern element. In many architectural dictionaries, or if you look online, usually you find the term Streamline Moderne as being those kind of streamlining forms, the continuous forms over the buildings, which gives us a kind of dynamicity from the 1930s and 40s, especially on the North American continent. However, we find many such examples in the same period in Europe and in more unlikely places in Eastern Europe, in Bucharest. Bucharest is the best represented in that regard. It's a time of prosperity after the Great Depression over here in Romania, and Bucharest being the capital, obviously was the most prosperous town. The country was a major oil producer and exporter, and also very well connected with the latest fashions all over the world. But Bucharest had a strong tradition in symbolism in a way, and it liked very much the Art Deco. The Art Deco with the rule of three ornaments, its symbolism is a more abstract form, which it adopted enthusiastically after when it emerged actually after the exhibition in Paris in 1925, Exposition des Arts et Objets Décoratifs, which gave the name to the style. So Bucharest embraced it enthusiastically, and after the Great Depression, it adapts it to the new fashions coming from over the ocean, from the western part of Europe. These modern, more looking buildings, using the latest technology of building, looking more rectangular, but in which adapts the Art Deco forms, most usually the rule of three, the elements grouped in three, which is a reflection of the ancient number, or the ancient Egyptians, their magical number. The Art Deco is very much intertwined with ancient Egyptian symbolism because it was very much influenced by the discovery of the tomb of Tutankhamun, and everyone went crazy about that. So Bucharest adapts this rule of three in everything in that period, basically. They were very adept of that, and also this new line, new kind of dynamicity and optimism, the streamlining of the buildings. So that's why I would call it in Bucharest that we have more streamline Art Deco than streamline modern, as they would say over the ocean in the United States especially. Because the locals over here, they stuck much more with the Art Deco and adapted these more modern forms. Let's have a look at a building which expounds that those coordinates which I was saying. This one, it's somewhere in Dacia area. You can see it's a modern dwelling, apartment house, and which the balconies and the windows and the other elements are streamlined. This is what I mean by streamlining. It has a lot to do with the nautical theme, which again is extremely popular in Bucharest. People, for the first time, they can travel all over the world using the ocean liners. At that time, that was the main means of international transportation, unlike today, which is by jet airliner. So they were absolutely fascinating by that, especially in a country like Romania, which people stayed most of their life in the same place. Suddenly the world was open to them. So this is a kind of bit of an echo of the nautical theme. This one is even more obvious nautical. It's like the stern of a boat. From behind of a boat you look at it. In Cotroceni Quarter. It's basically a boat. And this is the streamlining. All of these elements is like a flow of water. As the ocean goes over the oceans, the water of the ocean flows around the boat. And this is streamlining. It's a stream of water going around it. That's why it's called streamlining. And Bucharest is very well represented in this motif. Where over here, where we have an apartment house, again the nautical theme can be discerned over here because it has a flagpole. This house, this one is in an area west of east of Mântuleasa, sorry, and you can see that this kind of more rectangular modernist forms are sweetened by streamlining these balconies over here, which again go with the nautical theme. This one is even more eloquent. You have the bow of a boat coming towards you, and all of these balconies and these balconies in front, again, they are streamlined, reflecting the dynamicity, the confidence of the society now is like a boat going over the oceans. This is the boat, command deck and flagpole over there. The rule of three again is present all over the places over here. You have three registers over here, this kind of speed lines 1, 2, 3 over the balconies, the same over here. The window panes in number of 3. They are very, very enthusiastic or conscious about this rule of 3. You know, man, they like this kind of symbolism. So it's more streamline Art Deco than streamline modern, in my opinion. Or this house from the late 1940s in Domeni area. This one, which I just presented, was in Icoane, Mântuleasa, sorry, and this one is in Domeni. Again, the nautical theme, the porthole, the flagpole, and you have the balcony and the eyebrow, this kind of awning over it, streamlined. Extremely interesting, I would say. Over here is the entrance of an apartment house. Again, it's on this modular area. It's like you are on an ocean liner, this kind of shapes inside the saloon of an ocean liner, then the modern lighting, again, like on a boat. Inside of an apartment house, you go into the staircase, you have the staircase well coiling around, and again this one is streamlining, like the stream of water going around, hydrodynamic shapes. Over here, this is the staircase well. Again, you can see the lines, very dynamic and free-flowing. This is streamlined in an Art Deco context. Or this balustrade in Cotroceni, again, the streamlining is over here, very continuous without broken spaces. Or over here, a balcony made from anatomic materials, pipes, but put in a very nice setup and proportions and streamlined. It's a building by Jean Monda. Builder was Emil Prager in Dacia area. Over here, balconies, streamlined balconies of a block from the late 1930s. Again, balconies, you can see how they go like this. Although they are in antithesis with each other, they are sweetened by this kind of streamlining and reminds you of the nautical theme. So this is the streamlining in Bucharest, which, as I said, in my opinion, associates itself more with the Art Deco than with the modern. Of course, there is modern, Streamline Moderne as textbook one in Bucharest, like we have here in this example. It's an old postcard from the late 1930s. It's Scala block, and it's streamlined. This is modern, Streamline Moderne, as I said, textbook case. The building is still around in a very decrepit state, but this one is from its times of glory. But most of it is associated with Art Deco. That's why I would call it Streamline Art Deco, which is really an evolution peculiar to Bucharest, because the locals were so much enthralled by the Art Deco. Also, they're open to modern forms, but they adapted them within the Art Deco setup. So I hope that you enjoyed this video, and we'll see each other at the next broadcast. Thank you, and bye-bye.